All right, welcome back. Hey, just a quick intro. So it is Wednesday, September 17th, right after 4 o'clock. Temperature is 83 degrees. Humidity is 57%. And just because I do it practically every time, the heat index is 85. Let's take a quick look at the hives. I'm out here, as I discussed earlier, to treat them again. So this will be my second treatment for this time of the year, which will be the same thing. 4 grams for every hive, every 4 to 5 days for 4 to 5 times. So y'all saw it not that long ago. The nectar flow is definitely on for the fall. They are busy, 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 and it smells absolutely fantastic out here. All right, it's just about 4:50 and I'm finishing up. I'm on the second to the last hive. I didn't time myself this time around, but things don't really change too much. Very efficient and very effective. One of the best ways to treat your hives. I was just watching a video last night. Kim and Reynolds published on all the different types of InstaVaps now, which I think there's like maybe 4. That's the original. They have like a micro one and then 2 other models. The one that is catching my eye is the commercial model that has a small readout, but the coolest thing I thought about that one is it tracks how many treatments you give in. So that's pretty neat. Nothing for anytime soon, but maybe one day in the future.
Good morning and happy Saturday. So here it is, Saturday, September 20th, right at 7:30, and I am on the way to the Onslow County Farmers Market. And surprisingly, it's been an entire month since I've been out there, so hopefully it's a good day. Their market hours are 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. From the data I've tracked this year, with the handful of markets that I've done now, Onslow County Farmers Market has actually proven to be not only the most consistent, but the best sales, which is a good thing, right? The other benefit is it's extremely close. It's only a 15-minute drive for me, and I don't have to set up the tent. I simply back up to the building, use the 2 tables they have already prepared for me, unload the car, get everything set up in about 15 minutes, and I am up and running. So I'll make it a point to walk around, show y'all some vendors. If they want to share some of their info, I'll pass that along, but I'll be there in about 10 minutes, have everything set up and ready to go for 8. Wish me luck.
Well, hello. Say hi to the camera.
Hey.
How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah, nice. The famous Marie. All right. It is 12:05 and I am obviously on the way home. This is
going to be the market that I don't speak about. I'll share a little bit, but that's about it. By far the worst, no fault of the market, but not a lot of foot traffic, and then the majority of the folks that passed through for one reason or the other seem to glance in my direction, and my setup, my display's pretty much the same every single time. They seem to glance in my direction, but were rather hesitant or very reluctant to come over, talk, check out the setup, ask any questions like most people at most markets have so far throughout the season. So here's my request. If you're watching this and you're a fellow beekeeper, no matter where you are, obviously experiences are going to differ based off our location, or at least that's a safe assumption in my mind. So no matter where you are, please reach out. I don't care if you leave a comment, not a clickbait type request to jog the old algorithm. But yeah, reach out one way or the other. If you leave a comment, that's fine, that's easy. If you want to DM me or message me through Instagram or Facebook, that's also fine. But if you're watching this and you happen to keep bees and you're participating in markets this year, or you have quite a few years of market experience, help me understand that. Help me understand why some folks are just reluctant to just come over and talk. There's no pressure to buy anything. I don't pressure people to make a purchase. I will happily talk to them about bees, share my story, give them a little bit of an insight, but I'm not gonna haggle them to come over and hold them hostage with conversation, right? So yeah, this market was terrible. At least today was. Holly Ridge's market is tomorrow. I may do a thing or two with the bees today. I'm kind of undecided about that, but stay tuned and we'll see what the rest of the day goes like. If not, Holly Ridge's market, monthly market, is tomorrow. So I'm definitely keeping my fingers crossed for that one, that it is way better than today. All right, thanks for watching. Stay tuned.
All right, hey, here it is just a few hours later. So it's actually just after 3:30. Temperature is 88 degrees, humidity is 51%, and the heat index is 92 degrees, and it definitely feels like it. That week or so of nice, cool, fall weather was absolutely fantastic, but quickly enough, the temperatures have reminded us that we are not in the fall yet. So hey, let's walk out to the yard. Let's just poke our head out there to see how active the bees are. Assuming they are very active, which I'd be surprised if they're not, judging by yesterday's activity, which was absolutely great. And I've decided I'm going to capitalize on my time today. I'm going to drag the ladder out here. Oh yeah, very active. I'm going to drag the ladder out here, take the last 2 swarm traps down, and then get some plywood out of the shed and basically do a whole lot of moving around. So what I'm talking about with the plywood is I want to pull a bunch of boxes off here, line the bottom with solid plywood, so then if I have to store any equipment that has drawn wax, I'll use some Paramoth, but I want to store it out here versus in the shed. But having a controlled environment, or in an effort to control the environment and the equipment, I just want to line the bottom of the pallet with some plywood, which I did not think of as I was putting the plywood in, or the pallet in place with all the boxes, because if I had that thought initially, I would have did it then, so I don't have to do it now. Let's check out the front entrances, because these hives are active. Holy smokes. I mean, look at that. Here, let's actually walk down the line. I mean, this is incredible to see. And I wish y'all could smell what I can smell right now. The goldenrod flow is definitely on. This year is turning out to be one of the better ones. And I don't know why I look, because there's absolutely nothing going on either one of these traps, but I'm glad I took my sunglasses off, because this would be absolutely terrible to walk through. Look at that sucker. I mean, it's a beautiful web. I don't know if that's going to come up on camera or not, but that spider looks like it means business. And surprisingly, I don't see any honeybees in its web. All right, I'm just going to give you one last look at the entrances, and just going to get to a few chores, right? Again, dragging the ladder out, taking the swarm traps down, putting them on essentially the hive stand that's behind the shed, just as storage. And if you haven't caught this in prior videos from previous years, I'll end up torching the inside just to kill any sort of, just kill anything that I might not be able to see, and then I'll put them away for long-term storage. But man, this is fantastic. They look extremely busy, healthy, just working some nectar from the goldenrod. In fact, there's a few decent fields around here. I'll try to get some close-ups of the goldenrod and see if we can see any bees on it. But yeah, I'll just show you one last look of the entrances and knock out some chores here in a little bit. All right, hey, good morning everybody. So here it is, Sunday, September 21st, about 9:15, and I am heading down to Holly Ridge's monthly open air market. Their market times are 10 to 2, so it's another 4-hour market just like Onslow County. However, not to continuously dog on Onslow, no fault of their own, but yesterday was terrible. So hopefully today is not a repeat of that, and due to the absolutely terrible sales yesterday, I'm really hoping to exceed that today in the first hour or so. So according to the GPS, I'll be there in 15 minutes. Again, I'll show you a few clips of everything once I get set up. I will make it a better point, because I keep saying this and I keep forgetting, but I will make it a better point to walk around and give y'all an idea. I was gonna say a better idea, but an idea of the different vendors that are at least at this market. So again, 15 minutes, I'll get set up. Market starts at 10. I am really hoping for a better day than yesterday, so mentally I can move on. I've been tracking all the sales data from each market, just like most things that I track. And surprisingly, even though yesterday was nowhere close to the norm from the previous 3 Onslow County farmers markets, it did not, it brought the average down, but by not as much as I thought it was. So I guess that's potentially a silver lining. All right, stay tuned. Again, Holly Ridge today, show you a few clips, and fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that it's a good day. All right, it's 9:50, all set up. Just parked over in the designated vendor parking. Just about to walk across the street to the community center. Show you around real quick, and things start at 10 o'clock, so let's hope for a good day. Hey, how's it going?
Good to see you.
Good. How are you?
Yeah, doing fine.
All right, that's a wrap for Holly Ridge's September market. So here it is, 2:07, and that is the one thing I like about my setup is it is extremely quick to get everything set up and torn down. So in comparison to yesterday, today was 3 times better, which doesn't say much. And again, not dogging on Onslow County Farmers Market, it was an off day. Well, hopefully, right? Because there's still about 2 months left in the market season for most markets around here. I think most of them end around the end of November, kind of close to Thanksgiving. Some might go early or into early December, but we'll see. Again, new to the market scene, first year participating, first year making it a point to get out to most of them within reason. But yeah, today was kind of average for Holly Ridge, but again, in comparison to yesterday, it was a lot better. So overall, not bad, happy, good weekend. Had some decent online sales, which they definitely helped balance out the weekend sales. So all right, that's it for me. That's it for this weekend. I don't plan on doing anything with the bees today. Tomorrow I am due to treat them again. I need to get into the hives because, again, here it is. It's been another full month between inspections, and if you're a beekeeper in Eastern North Carolina, y'all can relate. We're quickly running out of time that is remaining in the season to do certain things. So treatments are underway. I definitely need to get in them, like I just said, mainly to see how they're doing and to gauge their food stores between what they've been bringing in, presumably, what I fed them, which is close to a month ago, kinda, and in an effort to really just prep them for winter, which may consist of another feeding, but I will let y'all know as soon as I find out. All right, hey, welcome back, everybody. So here it is, Tuesday, September 23rd, about 3:15. Temperature is 86 degrees, humidity is 59%, and the heat index is 92. And it actually feels like it. And we also have some pretty nice sunny skies. So hey, I'm about to go out into the yard, treat the bees for the 3rd time. So if you've been watching this video, you will have noticed, or may have noticed, I said I was going to do that on Monday. And here it is, Tuesday. I also said I was going to inspect the hives soon. I was going to say recently, soon, which was over the weekend or Monday. Here it is, Tuesday. That's called life. So yeah, I'm definitely going to treat the bees. That's what I'm about to go out into the yard to do. And then possibly sometime before Friday, I would like to get into the hives and inspect them for now the first time in over a month. So fingers crossed, they're doing okay. I will discover here very soon whether that's a true statement or not. Nonetheless, they've been actively working, presumably the goldenrod, pretty heavily, which is fantastic, plus a few other natural resources. So in an effort to make this a short intro, let's get out into the yard, treat the bees for the 3rd time with possibly at least 1, maybe 2 more times, and then they should be good rolling into the winter. Let's get to it. Y'all can hear that or not. All right, you know what time it is. Let's walk around, take a look at the entrances, and check out some busy bees. All right, let's walk the line quickly just to do a fast assessment. I am just looking for what most folks would say appears to be normal front entrance activity. I'm also looking on the ground, and I do not see anything that would resemble a swarm. All right, let's get the smoker going. The InstaVap connected to a battery. Let that heat up a little bit. and then let's get these hives treated. All right, welcome back. So here it is, Friday, September 26th, just after 4:30. Temperature is 89 degrees, humidity 65%, and the heat index is 102, and it definitely feels like it. Let's walk out to the yard real quick, just so we can take a quick look, and I can show you all that again. And then I'll talk about a few things I plan on doing still, and a few things it looks like I will not be able to get around to for the month of September because of the weather coming up. So if you don't know, I'm in North Carolina on the coastal region, and actually pretty close to the coast. And we have two decent storms moving our way. I'll share a screenshot or a video from one of the weather apps, but let's take a look at the yard real quick, because it is still just amazing to me to see the bees as active as they are, and as they have been for quite a while now. I know it might not come up all that great on camera, so let's just walk down the line like the other day, but it looks like springtime. And one of the channels I watch, I'm not sure which one it is at this point, but they had mentioned something about flight rates, like if there's bees basically coming and going like you see here, there is definitely a nectar flow on, and I have no doubt that is a true statement. All right, so let's talk about a few things that I've been planning on doing, a few things that I will most likely be able to get done, and unfortunately something that I've really needed to get done that I'm gonna have to push off again due to the weather coming up. So I'm gonna prep everything for bottling of honey tomorrow. At the same time, I'll just do that probably later in the afternoon. At the same time, tomorrow morning, most likely, I'm gonna zip on over to Lowe's to get a few 2x4s so I can get them. Basically, the plan is to simply secure the hives. I'm gonna lay a 2x4 over the top. The hives rest on a 4x4x8, so I'm thinking I'm either going to get an 8-foot or 10-foot 2x4 rested across the top, and then on each side ratchet strap it down to the hive stand as just a simple way to keep the hives secure to the stand due to the weather coming up. And if you haven't been watching this channel for a while, I've had hives in this very location since the beginning, since 2017, and quite a few severe storms, quite a few hurricanes. I've secured them in a variety of ways over the years, but the one common denominator is using ratchet straps, and it works. I don't necessarily run a ratchet strap around each hive. I just simply secure the hive to the stand like I just got done explaining. So yeah, tomorrow morning I think I'm gonna go over to the Lowe's, get a few 2x4s, which I am much overdue to get. Secure all the hives down in preparation for some bad weather. Worst case scenario, the weather's not as bad as the news is making it out to be, and I can simply come out here, remove the ratchet straps, or just leave them really, because I mean it doesn't hurt to keep them secure. And then the other thing that I don't necessarily need to do anytime soon, but it's on my mind, I plan on buying some more severe weather furring strips, which if you can see it or not, I have one strip per hive stand. Actually, this is probably a better view here. On the back side, as a simple way to give all the hives enough of a angle forward, because at some point over the last year, I noticed some of the hives are canted backward, and with the rain that we get early spring and summertime, there was a lot of water sitting in the back side of the hive. So if it's tilted that way, the water would sit there, it would get kind of nasty. I'm sure the bees didn't like it. So I figured, you know, what a very inexpensive and quick way to get all the hives canted forward. And it works. It has worked extremely well. In fact, those strips have been in there for at least this year. I may have even done that last year, I don't remember. But my thought process is, I need to make some shims because I plan on using Hive Alive fondant this winter for the first time, and I know I want to give them some space. So what not a better inexpensive way to make a shim than out of the severe weather furring strips. Easy to cut, easy to square up, piece them together, and then there you go. You got a shim for fondant and pollen patties. All right, folks, that's it. Not the most exciting update for the month, but that's what I'm up to. About to prep the bottler to bottle some honey tomorrow, go to Lowe's, basically prepare for some bad weather. Oh yeah, that's the one thing it looks like I am not going to be able to do this month is get into the hives. Looking back through hive tracks before I started making this update, the last time I got into the hives was early to maybe mid-August. Mid-August sounds about right, maybe the 14th. So it's been 6 weeks. This next week is nothing but rain, and that takes me into early October. So there is a good chance the hives will have gone 2 full months without being inspected, which it's not a big deal. It's not preferred, that's for sure, especially by me. But judging by how active they've been, judging by what other beekeepers have been telling me as they've been getting into their hives, and those other beekeepers I'm referring to live pretty close, so their hives are doing well, they're packing away a lot of food, brood's looking awesome. I would like to assume mine are doing the same based off what I'm seeing and what you're seeing right here, because this is not just foraging flights, but I've come out here throughout the month. I don't remember at this point if I recorded it or not, but I've come out here throughout the month and there's been a ton of orientation flights as well. So it seems like everything's going well. And as much as I would like to get into the hives, I just don't have the time due to the weather at this point. All right, as usual, stay tuned. I will share any updates as they occur. Oh yeah, actually starting tomorrow, I'll share an update on the honey that I'm gonna bottle, because it is the summer honey. So I'm very excited to bottle that. It's much darker, or at least it appears darker in the tank. Sometimes things look different in the tank than once you get it into a bottle. It tastes different, just as good, just different flavor, different floral source, assuming. But yeah, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I'll show you a few clips, of course, and then we'll close up the month over the next few days, and that'll be that. And as odd as it sounds, it's practically October already. This season has gone by extremely fast. It's been another awesome year. Big shout out to UMO, University of Mount Olive, and the North Carolina Tobacco Trust program with Ag Prime, which is another grant opportunity for beekeepers in the coastal region. They accepted my grant they accepted my application earlier this year, and I received some grant money, which I'm about to send my final report to them here in the next week or so. And then mid-November, they have a luncheon for all the grant recipients out in Mount Olive. So stay tuned for that. That's you know, over a month away, but very, very excited. Also, good opportunity to meet some other farmers, possibly some other beekeepers, and just some other folks with good intentions that needed some help, received some help, thanks to University of Mount Olive and the North Carolina Tobacco Trust. All right, that's it for me. Pretty long summary, but had quite a few things to share, so stay tuned, and let's close up September together here very soon. All right, hey, welcome back everybody. So here it is the following day. It's Saturday, September 27th, about 1:45. The shed is a modest 85 degrees and 50% humidity, which feels absolutely fantastic. When I have both dehumidifiers running, it gets up to about 100, 105 in here, and anywhere between 20 and 30% humidity. So the day has finally come to bottle some of the summer honey. It's been in the warming tank now for quite a few weeks, and in fact I measured the moisture content last night and it is down to 16.9, which is awesome. This might be part of a previous video. I honestly can't remember if it's a part of this one very early on at this point, but when I first harvested that honey back in August, maybe mid-August, frames were capped, got it into the buckets, and I was very surprised. It was measuring at 19.1. So if you don't know, anything over 18.6%, you run the chance of fermentation. Basically all bad, and you definitely don't want to sell it to customers. But I got this idea from a few other beekeepers, and since I have the heated bottling tank and a few box fans, I just turned the tank on to about 105 degrees, put a box fan on top like y'all saw previously, and over the course of a few weeks, it actually reduced the temperature by a decent amount. 17% or below was the goal, and here we are as of last night, 16.9%. So let's get let's get to it. Crack open the flange. I want to share that with y'all. I'm also very curious myself to see what the color looks like as it flows through the tube into the bottler. I have, this is just a 1 pound. It had some spring honey in it, but I emptied that out because I've been offering samples to customers this year. So considering I'm gonna have 2 types of honey, spring and summer now, why not bottle about 1 pound? And then my thought process is, as I have it out on my display at the different markets and festivals, people can see I have some light honey and some dark honey, and maybe they're interested to try some and they'll like one or the other, or neither, I guess. But I think it's pretty cool after all these years to finally have some variety. All right, enough yapping. Let's get to bottling. Pardon all the background noise, but I have practically every fan going to make it as comfortable as possible in here. So as y'all saw, no kidding, needed to prime the filler. So let's get this thing going. In case I haven't mentioned this lately, but the Hilco speed fill is absolutely fantastic. And check out that color. I don't know if it's really gonna come up on camera. Actually, let me go grab a bottle of the spring honey. It'll have labels on it, but you should be able to get an idea. Yeah, no kidding. That is awesome. That is the difference of about 2.5 months. All right, it is just about 3 o'clock and I am all done. Total haul for summer honey turned out to be 87 pounds, and here's the breakdown. So 62 half-pound bottles and 56 1-pound bottles. I actually tipped the heated bottling tank, so even though Hilco, all their equipment has a sloped bottom to help the honey get out the gate, I didn't want to wait too long. I was getting semi-impatient, so I tilted it forward just a little bit, maybe half an inch or so, and no kidding, it helped get, I mean, practically all of the honey out of the tank. That little bit of residual honey that you see, it's just how it is. It's the honey that is in the feeding tube, it's the honey that's over here in the pump, it's the honey that's up in the top tube there. So it kind of just gravitates back to the tank and flows back in. I've been wanting to do this for quite a while, but again, just like the introduction, I wanted to exercise patience as much as possible to get the moisture content down, which I am very happy I was able to do. And let's take, here, let me show you this real quick. So I have a 1-pound bottle that I use for samples at the markets, and I filled up the other 1-pound bottle with the summer honey. So here is the side-by-side, which is pretty cool to see, between the spring honey that was harvested at the very end of May, maybe June 1st, And then the summer honey that I believe I pulled around mid-August. So check it out. That is a pretty cool difference in color. And the flavor matches as well. The spring honey, it's very light, not just in color, but in taste. Sweet for sure. And the summer honey, it tastes not as sweet, different floral sources. It just has a good, unique flavor to it, which I'll see here soon enough when I start doing a few markets starting next week to see if people like the summer honey or they like the spring honey. I'm sure both will do just well. I'm sure people will gravitate towards one or the other or both, but again, yeah, I think it's pretty cool to actually have two varieties of honey available for folks. All right, hey, stay tuned. We'll see how the rest of the month goes, which is only a few more days. And again, we have this one weather front creeping up the East Coast. It looks like we might get lucky. It looks like it might just pass us and stay off the coast. But then we have the other named storm, which I believe is around the Caribbean. Actually, just here, check out the screenshot video from my radar. Yeah, from my radar. Who knows? All the weather guessers, all of the forecasted paths have this thing going all over the place, from hitting about Myrtle Beach, which is about 100 miles south of us. Myrtle Beach, hitting the Carolinas, going off, passing us, going off the coast in the Atlantic. So who knows, but fingers crossed. I still need to get over to Lowe's to buy some 2x4s to secure the hives. In fact, I'll probably just do that today since the weather's not all that great and I'm not going to get into the bees. But yeah, I just wanted to show you just a quick summer honey harvest. All right, everybody, that's a wrap for September. I finished bottling all of the summer honey and completely forgot to close out the video. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for October. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos that you do. Every little bit helps. We literally make peanuts and pennies off our videos, but the goal is still the same from quite a long time ago. I would love to see 10,000 subscribers, but I know that's putting the cart in front of the horse just a little bit. But considering we are just shy, we are less than 100 from 3,000, please subscribe, share our channel on any of your social media platforms, and I would love to make it past the 3,000 mark by the end of the year. All right, thanks again. Thanks for watching. Catch us in October.